Alright, so what is your name and what is your position here?
I'm Eric Garcia and I'm a field coordinator.
What did you think mapping was when you first heard about it?
Honestly, I just thought going on the computer and just mapping certain areas. I didn't really know that we had to go outside and map.
So is mapping what you thought that it would be?
Not really.
How is it different?
Like I said, we're always going outside mapping actual businesses. I didn't know it was gonna be like that. I honestly thought it was gonna be like I said on the internet, mapping on the map.
So do you like it? Do you think that's productive?
I mean, yeah, because you're walking and then you're actually walking with people that you're getting to know. At first we started walking with field coordinators and it was fun, and then once the mappers came in, we get to know them and it's a fun ride.
Do you think that it's good for the community?
Yeah, it's really altruistic, really, we're going outside helping businesses and the community as well.
So what did you learn about community issues from mapping?
What do you mean?
In the areas that we mapped, what did you learn about the issues that they face?
Oh, like the South Bronx, it's really industrial, really industrial. There's not a lot of things over there to map and stuff.
What is your position here?
My name is Isaiah, and I'm a mapper at Maps Corps.
What did you think mapping was when you first heard about it?
To be honest, I thought I was just gonna be mapping stuff. I didn't really know what it was, to be honest. I mean, I thought I was gonna be working in the office, but I wasn't.
Looking at the blueprint.
at maps.
So is mapping what you thought it would be?
No.
And how is it different?
Really not. I mean, it's different because we're actually going outside. As I said before, I thought I was gonna be working in the office. But I actually go outside and interact with different people and get to know the area and travel a lot. It's pretty cool.
What have you learned from mapping, and do you think that it's productive for the community?
What I learned about the different difficulties that communities have developing, and I learned how it impacts the people around there, and I learned about the different things that goes on. And I think it's really productive. Anybody should do this. It's pretty cool. You learn more about your community.
So about these things that go on, what are the issues that the communities we mapped, what are they facing?
I mean, stuff like the different factories around. For example, we went through Hunts Point and we see all those factories. Now, I used to live in Hunts Point, and I developed asthma due to all that. So it's now people over there, so they suffering from all that stuff. It's not good.
Name and what's your position here?
My name is Devonte Cleghorn. I am a field coordinator for mapping.
What did you think mapping was when you first heard about it?
When I first heard about mapping, I didn't really know what to expect. I thought it was just another program where you can just sit around and just relax and understand or learn information from leaders, but in this position you actually have to be a leader.
So how did your impression of mapping change?
My impression of mapping changed when I actually had to do it myself on a phone, and I had to go through different communities and neighborhoods and learn of the different assets and put the information into a phone.
What are the issues in your community, and how did you learn them from mapping?
There are many issues in the community that I have mapped, and I've done East Harlem and South Bronx so far. And one of the main issues is homelessness, which is vital, I think, to the community, since homelessness can make the community look depreciated than it really is. I feel like it's something that can be fixed very easily, but it really takes a time for people to look at what they have in their community and for someone to reach out to those homeless people.
So what is your name and what do you do here?
My name is Devonte, and I am a youth mapper for Maps Corps.
What did you think mapping was when they first told you about it?
At first, for my program, that they gave us a brief description about mapping, but didn't go too in-depth in it. So actually, I thought it was when we would actually hand out flyers, take surveys, and see what the community needs, parks, youth organizations, and etc.
Is mapping what you thought it would be, and what have you learned about the community?
At first, I thought mapping would be like easy, but when I first got into like the field and I actually started mapping, it was kind of a little bit difficult when you don't know like the categories of like certain shops and stuff, and how like some shops are like they don't have like their main thing is not just one thing. They have like other things, and you didn't know how to categorize it. So that was a little difficult. While I was mapping, I realized that the communities had a lot of beneficial things there, like community organizations, community leaders, or like after school programs and stuff like that.
So, what are some of the issues in your community that mapping taught you about?
Okay. While mapping in the South Bronx, in Hunts Point, I've noticed that they had so many health clinics, but not psychiatric facilities. And there were a lot of people there who are not like mentally stable. And I feel like if they had psychiatric facilities, that these people will not be unstable mentally.
So, what's your name and what's your position here?
My name is Elliot Nelson, and I am a mapper for Maps Corps Mount Sinai.
What did you think mapping was when you first heard about it?
At first I thought we were going to be making maps of the community, but analog maps, not so much digital like Google Maps.
So, is mapping what you thought it would be?
It's pretty close to what I thought it would be, but there's a little more physical labor in it, being that we have to travel to different places to get our information.
And what have you learned about the community from mapping?
I've learned that there's a lot of gentrification in the community, dealing with how there's large companies and big money coming into small communities and taking the money that's not going back into the community. Therefore, the communities aren't having the resources that they need to develop.
What's a positive thing that you learned?
The communities are very friendly in terms that the people talk to each other, and there's not much differences going on when people interact. It's more like community-based, family-based than small towns. Yeah.
What is your name and what's your position here?
My name is Giselle Mora, and I am a mapper in Mount Sinai.
What did you think mapping was when you first heard about it?
I thought it was about doing surveys with people and mapping using the internet, doing a lot of things in the internet, yeah.
So is mapping what you thought it would be, and how did your impression of it change?
Nope, it's not what I expected. But when I learned about mapping and I started to map, I realized that it's a great thing to do because we help out the community. We let other people know what the community is about and what we have around there.
So what are some issues in the communities that you mapped?
When I went mapping, I noticed that there are a lot of delis and not enough healthy food, like organic foods. And all the delis, they're less expensive than organic food, so I'm guessing it triggers a lot of people to go inside and buy unhealthy food instead of healthy food. So that's what I noticed when I went mapping.